welcome everybody. This is the Stu and the Nun Show. You're talking to the Nun. Welcome. It is a Thursday evening here in the middle to late part of August. This is episode 137. I'm joined by my main homie, brother from another motherland, Troy, the Stu, who's on the road today, hitting us up from a hotel. That must be pretty cool hotel. Let you wear some listed 9 fight company up in it.
That's it. You know it right there. Hey, Toby, are we live on Facebook? I am not seeing us broadcasting.
We are live on Facebook.
We are?
We are. Very exciting. It's one of the many streams that we're live on. Also live on the Twitch.
Periscope. The tube of Eunice.
The tube of Eunice. All the cool kids watch us on.
And then they can listen to us on Spreaker or Spotify. That's right. We are on the Spotify.
Well, we're pretty excited about this. There you go. Way to make your picture.
Was I not in the picture before?
No, you were good. You were getting excited. We were getting a good look at you. But you look good now.
Well, I was trying to show my enlisted 9 shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So
to come and take it.
Yeah, I was trying to support that. You see a little come and take it going on. And I'm trying to do some logging in here. And
live on the Book of Things.
Yeah, I'm hoping to. I literally, as you know, Toby, our listeners may not know, sometimes we get things going just moments before the show starts, and I literally walked in minutes before the show started. So, we are getting still set up here.
Yeah, well, it's better to be Bush League than in no league. But we're a league of our own. We're in a league of our own without Tom Hanks or any of them Well, Gina Davis was.
Yeah, that's it.
There's a shout out to Gina. Everybody else, and Donna, not with somebody else's. Rosie, not with. Yeah, no. And that wasn't that crud.
That's right.
But hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Troy, you are where tonight?
I am around the nation's capital. I'll put it that way. Yes.
You are a Beltway. You are a Beltway brother tonight.
I am a Beltway brother. I am up in the land of Maryland, and just outside. I've been all over the D.C. area the last few days, from Northern Virginia to Maryland and back to D.C. But yes, I am up in just outside the Beltway, actually. So
enjoy the time there. Hopefully. I think Washington, D.C. is kind of like the Sergeant's Major Academy.
Yeah, I'm listening.
When you attend the Sergeant's Major Academy, they have the dining facility that's got this special fountain. But when you drink from it, you turn stupid and only worry about uniforms. So
the old Star Major Academy lobotomy. It's the final exam.
So I'm hoping while you're in Washington, D.C., you don't suffer from similar affliction of all the people that go to DC and drink the stupid juice. Like some of us put chlorine in our water. Some people put fluoride in their water. Some people put iodine tablets. Snake eaters put iodine tablets in there.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Sometimes you got to. But like in DC, I think they put Pied water. Like bringing the intelligence level down. Everyone. But enough about politics.
Yes, I did though. I did unfortunately miss a couple of our close friends that had left DC about the time I got in here. They were here for a solemn and honorable event, and that was the burial of John Aaliyah at Arlington. So I missed literally Mark Seavey by minutes, if not hours. I missed Matt Burton, a whole bunch of those guys. I couldn't make it here a day or two early, unfortunately. But so there's been a lot of folks here the last few days.
Well, we're gonna going to talk more about John in a different episode, a special episode. But the one thing that I want to comment. Fortunately, I traveled 2 weeks. First and foremost, buried in Arlington is an honor that's only bestowed upon that have ward level or rank. Those of us that are listed rank, us to be buried require Bronze Star with for a uh, so that qualifying they do among people buried there. The two that's where one of the guards the as well as does also known as there is a 6 month waiting list back buried conduct on average 15 that includes full burial all the way through. John Lalia and such respect that they did not have him. The fact
Yeah,
that
they
he
did
got
it
buried
pretty quick.
very quickly is one of the greatest statements that the military has ever made in support of someone that's we had Robert Stokely on the show, son killed in action middle of August 16th 2005 as Michael's recently Arlington. Um, you know, after the approval process took almost 9 months. So like, man that died in action. Think of implication fact that holds the guard that they. I'm just
I was
mind.
wondering. I'm
I
sure
was
there's a story.
mind
I was
blown.
wondering how it happened so quick. I was kind
Mind
of
blown.
amazed.
And the fact that he's got. I was Jimbo did a little bit of videos and did a little bit of videos. Graveside service. The Pentagon in the background. Jim Hansen, we're talking about Fox News guest. He said, how fitting is that John Pentagon as his final resting place to basically haunt them and make sure they collaborate.
Yeah, I thought that was
That was
pretty
pretty
good.
good.
Overlooking it for sure. But yeah, we're definitely going to have a show dedicated to John, and that is definitely coming up. So we would definitely stay tuned for that. But no, I also wanted to point out real quick. So I want to just cut off that, but I mean, like I say, we want to definitely cover that. I do want to point out, besides the awesome looking listed 9 shirts that we both have on, and the VL hat that you have on, I am sporting one of my new 511 hats. Really like 511's not a sponsor, but they are a great friend of the show and a great friend of VL. So I've got this high-speed hat, has a nice little patch. I threw my no step on snake patch on it. So I wore that especially down here. But yeah, so I wasn't able to pack a 511, a VO hat, but I grabbed this one and
Well,
give it a shot. They do support VO pretty good.
I'll make sure that VO understands. Only had room, soft bill, and most of the hat.
Yeah,
So
I didn't want
great.
to. I didn't want to smash one in the
Yeah.
suitcase. I'll be
So,
honest. Really is what
so
it came down to.
out of respect for the structure, so have some of the people. I don't know.
I
I
hope so.
can't say that all will. Some
Yeah.
might. But no, like really excited. 511's actually giving us swag giveaway with in a couple of months. We have some other giveaways before then. Uh, Pretty excited that Justin Capel being is the guy that won our last giveaway, right? Justin Capel's
He
actually
did.
been on the a guest on the show. Great guy, worked got out of the now doing great things. Okay, up in Waco. Excited that he's he's in the chat room too.
He's in
Right,
the
so
chat room. He was a winner chicken dinner. He won
and apparently you guys are wearing
twice.
the same shirt tonight. You know, like
Yes, we are wearing the same shirt. So, great minds think alike. And if I remember right, if I think so, Justin also won our on the spot giveaway during the show with Wendy last week, which he won a VO hat of his
oh
picking.
okay,
And but he has to come down.
all right,
That's not going
well
to be shipped to him.
yeah
He has to come see the VO office.
yeah
So Justin,
we
I haven't
don't
had a
ship the
chance to tell you that
temple.
yet. But
We don't ship the Belton,
yeah,
Justin. So come next time you're in Georgetown, you by the VO office.
that's right. For seeing Wendy's secret message that went out during the show, which
Yeah,
was quite hilarious. Yeah,
but
I've never laughed so hard. I'm telling you, that was funny as can be. But yeah, Justin did win. And speaking of giveaways and contests, we have the other one that's going on. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to announce it during the show tonight because I barely made it here in time for the show. But after the show's over, I'm going to work on it. I've got the information from Clint over at Off the Grid Creocoat. So I'm going to do the scrubbing of the list and do the comparison of who likes both pages, both Off the Grid Creocoat and Stu and the Nun. So if you're watching this or listening, I hate, they say about assume. I would hate to assume that you don't already like the page, but there's a few people that don't. So if you like them both, I'll after the show, probably within an hour after the show ends, I'll put up on our Facebook page who the winner is, and the winner gets to pick from 50% or $50 off a pistol Creocoat job or $100 off a long gun, off a rifle Creocoat job. So that's what you're gonna. That's the gift for tonight. 2 weeks back to back. Will probably be a few weeks before we do our next giveaway. We're really going to try to do one of these a month. It just so happened that Clint owns both companies, and he wanted to do them back to back for both his companies. So we will announce that tonight, sometime after the show. I'll get that information out there and see who wins this week. Another great prize from a past guest, small business owner, all that good stuff. So excited about that.
so down a little bit of housekeeping. Couple bit of admin notes. Uh, Getting into the busier time of the year. Change the show dates, trying to accommodate some scheduling. Not always working the way we want. So I apologize that I wasn't on the air last week. Apologize in advance for not being on the air next week. Uh, Next week
Wait,
is
what? Oh, that's right. You're not. That's right. I remember that now.
the no, next week is VO's fundraiser. Hosting that. The host, Chet, the day tripper. Uh, and, so excited about that. Apologize that I won't be able to be on the air next week, but rest assured, I'll be out doing good. Tomorrow
Yeah.
morning. I can work my shift. I am trying to go to the stand-up, the Army. Uh, Doug Mullins looking like hard. Will be in attendance. Um, I can get my straight, join him for that, and a Instagram, Facebook Live video from the stand-up and in Austin. Pretty excited about that. What it means for innovation, the fact that they chose Austin, Texas. I think it's pretty excited about that. So hopefully you will see part of that. Um, Outside of that, that's all the real updates I have personally. Last week I hosted private are stronger that we were involved in restoration, post-traumatic stress, but community military. I was a military consultant on the director. Great film, several awards, several different festivals. Pretty awesome stuff. The film's doing a lot better than I imagined. Story, power of what's. Pretty excited that we got to do that last week. Apologize again. Sometimes you got to say no to good things, so you can yes to the.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I forgot you were going to be out next week, and I'm glad I'm here tonight. Wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it, what my schedule was going to allow. That's why about I guess it was 30 minutes before the show started, I texted you and said, "Hey, I'll be getting there just in time. I can actually make it." I was afraid I was only going to be able to call in or something and spend a few minutes. So, um, yeah, like I say, it's a busy time. Man, schools are going back in session. Summers are ending. People are doing vacations. They're trying to wrap up their summers, and you have people getting ready for that. People that are doing Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts are all starting back up. Some football seasons are starting up. Hockey seasons are starting up pretty soon. Evals, yeah, baby. But I'm a youth hockey coach, and we're going to have that starting up in a month or so. And then you have, and then we got hunting season, right? For some, for you, it seems like you're hunting all the time. But up in the north, when it comes to those deer, that's coming up too. So it's gonna be, before you know it, it's gonna be Christmas, and we're gonna be like,
it happened so fast.
where did 18 go?
Where did it go? Like I was looking at my calendar the other day, and everyone knows that managing better outdoors, exceptional year. I was looking at my calendars, and we got salmon, September, got Randy White, Bill Allen. I got exotic hunt, middle of that.
Oh, alligator hunting's not exotic enough.
Well, I mean, I think it's
Seems
primitive because you're killing a dinosaur. No, it's like a lot of travel coming stuff. A lot of year is gonna fly by, and it's boom. Uh, but man, kind of want to transition quickly. I'm personally lost right now, trying to figure. Uh, I think everyone kind of assumed like Paul Manafort, the trial was going to go a certain way. Um, 8 of 18 charges. Trying to figure out if that was just got it. We got like this much meat on the bone. The rest is irrelevant. I know, or if it no, there was nothing there. So I'm like really kind of confused by that. But obviously, like that's a major blow. And lawyer just kind of straight. I don't even want to deal with that. Let's just done. That weird situation that beyond admission of guilt. I mean, no fight, which but it's kind of crazy. Like there's
Uh
interesting
oh.
stuff
Did
going
I
on.
lose you?
No, I'm right here.
Did you cut out? Yeah, you did for a sec. I lost you for a sec.
That was just Facebook
Yeah, I
saying what
got
I
you.
was saying.
Yeah, I don't know. They're messing with us. It could be crappy hotel internet too. No, I'm with you. It was not a good day. I don't know how bad the day was. I don't know if it's as bad as the press makes it. The problem is the press magnifies it, and they immediately went to impeaching and this and that, whatever. And it's just amazing how much people become experts on whatever the flavor of the day is. Gorilla gets killed. Everybody knows about freaking gorillas. Something happens here. Everybody knows about
Rest in
this.
peace,
Everybody knows about
Harambe.
that. Now everyone knows all about tax laws and criminal SEC violations, and it's like everyone becomes an expert, and everyone's calling for impeachment. They forget that statement on the impeachment of high crimes against the U.S. and if there's a crime, and as has been stated by a number of lawyers, not including the president himself, who's not a lawyer, but himself, an admission, someone admitting to guilt, plea bargaining does not mean there was actually a crime. They just said, "Yeah, I did that," because you're going to give me 60 years in prison, and I can get 4 years in prison. So I'm going to roll the dice and just take my chances and say that I don't want to take the chance, right? I'll just take 4 years and not roll the dice that I may get. I'll take what's behind what I got now and not go for a risk behind door number one. You got everyone yelling impeachment, this and that, whatever. It was interesting. The timing was interesting, Toby. Let me tell you. I was thinking about this yesterday, and I'm not a conspiracy theory guy by any means. I am not the new Alex Jones. I would like his readership and hit traffic before he got shut off from everything.
But not his personal problems.
But now what?
But not his personal problems. No one
Not his
that.
personal problems. We just want his web traffic. But I was literally thinking about this the other day, somewhere driving in traffic in DC. And I kind of put together a number of events that have happened. And I think this is interesting. We are 70 something days out of the midterms. And I'm not, trust me, I'm going to say again, I'm not thinking there's some conspiracy. I just think the timing is really, really coincidental. Within 70 days of the midterms, you have a popular congressman from New York, the first one ever to publicly support the President of the United States in his campaign, Chris Collins, indicted. A week or so later, you have another congressman, very popular, very pro-military, former military member himself, Representative Duncan Hunter from the other side of the country in California, indicted on corruption charges. This happened 2 days ago. Duncan Hunter and his wife were, right? And who's helped our good friend Jason Amory now, and Duncan Hunter has helped a number of people out.
Like that's I guess
it's all over the news. It's behind the Manafort story. Look it up. Him and his wife were both indicted on redirecting campaign money to personal needs, blah, blah, blah. Both of those things happened in the week. A congressman from New York, a congressman from California, both Republicans, both some of the first supporters of the president. And then you have the Manafort jury verdict and the Cohen plea and admission, both happening on the same day. But pretty much, I'd have to count up the days, but all within about 8 days of each other, all about 76 to 80 days before the midterms. I was literally driving the other day, and it all popped in my head. I was like, boom, boom. I was starting to connect dots, and I don't know if they meant to be connected, but I just thought it was very suspicious. The Cohen admission and plea bargaining could have happened any time, and it was damn near like they had someone in the court like, oh, the jury's about to announce. Let's drop this ball right now, too. It was almost like they piled on. At least those two events. I don't know if the Collins and the Hunter are connected, but it is suspicious that it's some of the people, the two congressmen who were the first, some of the first, Collins was the first, Hunter was soon after, Congress people to support the president publicly and endorse him, and his attorney and his guy who was his campaign manager for 4 or 5 months, but was considered very close to him by if you watch the press. All within days of each other, 2 of them on the same day. I don't know, man.
So, yeah, I think timing is a lot. I think the strategy that people in business, books, Baybeard Publishing, you know, these
And
are
Northern Disclosure, great book if you can find it on Amazon. So,
don't buy the used, but the no, like the timing of things, business wise, capitalize on and kind of playing that and that system. That that strategy. So I don't think that there's conspiracy behind some of this. I think it's just strategy, timing of. If you have the ability, to, and I think everybody does, if you have the ability to dictate the time nation and it's going to flow, and how you can add to it or complement it or supplement, I believe that absolutely happens. In fact, I know it happens. So like I don't think it's conspiracy theory to be like, okay, this knew that this was going to happen today. Like, let's get these indictments. I watched something interesting today. I had to like get down on Snopes to try and really kind of dig into it. They talked about how many conservative media slash communication professors are currently teaching involved, like went back and some in the there's not a ton of communications, less than one what's engaged. So like having an entire industry together, I don't think it's nefarious. They just work together because a lot of situations they're like-minded. Like conservatives work together on other issues, like-minded. They find fellowship with others. So like I don't think it's like crazy that, but I absolutely think there's probably a. I'm absolutely stunned about Duncan. No idea. I wish I had an available screen that I could be. Duncan Hunter, like interesting guy. Uh, got elected because his dad was an incumbent. He had the power of incumbency. So his dad, instead of putting himself on the ballot, put his son on the ballot. The guy was deployed. I want to say he was in Iraq during like the first part of the election and the campaign. Got voted in on name recognition of his dad, and then kind of like heir to the throne. His dad retired, passed it on to his son. He's been doing good stuff. He's kind of like Tom Cotton. So they're doing some pretty cool stuff, shaking it up,
right.
like holding people's feet to the fire. So I'm really interested to learn more about. Said
Yeah,
for
it's him and his
corruption.
wife both. It's shame. Yeah, indicted for corruption. 100 and something thousand redirected to personal gains and needs, and it happened like 2 days ago. It happened. It happened the same day as the Manafort and Cohen things. And all three of those things happened on the same day, I think, if I remember correctly. It's been a busy week, but that's why it kind of got buried. I mean, it kind of just
Yeah,
fell
like
off
I'm.
the front of the
That's
news
this is
cycle
like
because everything was about Cohen and Manafort and
yeah, this is the
Stormy
first time hearing
Daniels
about it.
and all that stuff. So,
But
um,
one thing I think we should talk about, because this is something you and I are both familiar. Um, and I've had this conversation with a lot of people, a lot of coffee table type conversations. People, asking about my opinion or my understanding of why former director Brennan got his clearance revoked. And
we talked. I talked about that a little bit last week, by the way.
okay,
I did,
cool.
yeah.
Like we'll revisit it briefly, then cash it. But uh, again, this is delivery and it's presentation. If you present something like, "Hey, this guy, got his, has been speaking out against Trump, so that's why he got it revoked." Like that's not actually what the situation. there are hundreds of people every day that get their clearances revoked because they no longer serve in the capacity that requires that.
Right.
Like the fact that he still had it is mind blowing. The fact that he was still read in on stuff while he wasn't serving in any capacity, I think, was asinine and dangerous, not political. I mean, like asinine, dangerous. If you need him part of something, his expertise, reread him in. You know, like
Right.
give them limited, clearance for that purpose. They do that all the time. That's how certain knuckleheads get to go into the situation room, because they give them limited time, limited windows of clearance.
Right.
Like,
well, apparently it was kind of protocol and tradition that the senior leaderships in the intel community were kept read on and kept pretty much clearance for life because, and that's what I talked about last week, because maybe they dealt with a country or situation while they were in charge that pops back up, and it allows the leader now to get a hold of them and say, hey, remember when you were dealing with this in North Korea or South Africa or Zimbabwe? This is what we're dealing with now. And so it's kind of a courtesy. Yeah. It's like past presidents, right? They kind of stay right on. They get called by the president when he's about to take a major military action.
Right.
He kind of gets heads up.
But a former president can't just walk in and be like, hey, I'm number 40. I'd like to have the answer to blah blah blah.
Right.
That's
not
how it works.
The thing is that
you're not in that job anymore.
Right. There's policy that says they can't keep their clearances as long as they continue to act in the manner of a normal agent would. And when you go out on all the media outlets and start talking, for one thing, former agents, when you work for the CIA, you're kind of, you have a lot of clearances, I can tell you for sure, but the CIA, you are kind of still read on until you can't be public that you work for the CIA, you can't do any of that stuff until you read off completely. And when you do that, you're done. Like there's no way of coming back. 'Cause a lot of people retire from the CIA, they leave, they come back and contract back, they go back and forth. But when you read off, then you're allowed to write books and talk to the press. You're done. There's no coming back. There's no way any agent, all the way to any leadership, would do what he did and be able to keep their clearance, right? There's others. There are many other leaders in the intelligence community that have retired that worked for past administrations that are probably still right on, I'm assuming, that are out there and even writing books or maybe doing, they're called in as special, commentators on different variety of news channels or programs, but they're not out there saying that the current administration, that the president could have ties to Russia, that the administration is doing this, that these things, and just like an officer. So this is one thing our listeners may not know, Toby. If you are a commissioned officer in the United States Army on active duty, you cannot speak badly of the president at any time in a public forum. Enlisted member can, right? Not advisable for your career, but it can. But an officer can be punished under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, even off duty, doing their own thing on a weekend, because they are a commissioned officer and they speak ill of the commander-in-chief. Now, National Guard reserve components, it's kind of a gray area, but they also are not really allowed, even as while they're not on duty as reservists, officers are not allowed because they are still commissioned in to the United States military. Can they not talk badly about the president and that kind of stuff? So if a commissioned officer serving can't do it, a person who's kind of pseudo-serving because they still have their clearance at a position of a director of an intelligence agency, absolutely can't do it. And they can't do UC&J, they can't take punitive action, but they can say, hey, you're out there doing that, you're going to lose your clearance because you become such a hot topic and you're a target. Right? There's a reason why our intelligence community people are so covert and undercover. We don't want them to be targets of foreign countries. We don't want foreign countries to say, oh, there's so-and-so. He works for this place. We're going to start tailing his family. We're going to start digging into his stuff and find something we can blackmail him or her with. Right? That's why when you're in some of those positions, any extramarital affairs, anything you have to disclose all that because it's all about not being able to be blackmailed. You have to, and even when you do things like that, they question your honesty and integrity. Like if you're willing to cheat on your spouse, on the one you've committed to for life, what else are you willing to do?
Yeah, no, like if you've demonstrated this. But I think it's interesting. The reason I brought it up, but wasn't just to like kind of rehash some of it, but it also kind of really talk about the presentation of it. You know, the presentation. I think a current day art example. We got this young woman, this Iowa college student. That's just been found her body found in murder. They arrested alien in connection with that murder, and uh, the presentation that you're seeing is like undocumented worker or immigrant or but there's a definite attempt to present the story in a way that it's like not illegal. Like the effort that's put in, the effort to tell the stories. Well, we put a thing up on our page yesterday about Senator Warren's like absolutely asinine disconnect understanding of this. When asked about it, she made the family of the young woman to also understand that there are bigger issues at hand, and that's the separate uh, undocumented illegal alien children from their illegal alien parents. Um, the rights of the citizen that life was taken for the parents that are permanently separated from their child. Just interesting the presentation. John Mayer made a lyrical hat tip several years ago. Own the information, you can bend it all you want. And it just seems like we are at a time where information just being bent. And it's like the very first thing I saw when I found out this young woman was murdered by alien, I read an article, immigrant kills. So when I read the article, I thought of it from the perspective of someone like me, an immigrant. And like then I was like, wait a second, this person isn't an immigrant. Like, like
they illegally entered. An immigrant
they
is
haven't
someone
earned
that
status.
Here.
They have not put the time in, the paperwork, the money, the effort, the service, the any of it. You gave them a title that they didn't earn. The only thing that's accurate statement undocumented worker, the fact that these people are actually working. And like why is it so harmful? And this is me, Toby, the Canadian, asking the question, like I'm proud of my status because I earned it. And like I don't understand like why there's this you need to bend the information say immigrant did this or like say the way it is. Obviously I also for the record dislike the fact that it's being politicized. It's being politicized. Like, but in the relaying of facts, just be honest. I'm picking up a lot of static from. Words of the there it's in the words of the great Caddyshack. Bush.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
I was trying to fix some audio stuff, but for some reason something ain't working. But
But yeah.
Oh, you got some static coming from me? My bad. All right. No, you know what I saw today, Toby? On the news, I saw a quick blurb. This guy, who this illegal immigrant, filed a complaint or something to do with the complaint because everyone's calling him an illegal alien, and he says it offends him. He doesn't want to be called an illegal alien. I don't think he gets a right, an option, or a vote in that matter. Um,
No, like if, and this is this is how crazy, like that we're actually, there's nothing offensive about saying that is a mechanical term. That is a that is what it is. If you are not in with the law, you are breaking the law. If you run the red light, don't come to a complete stop, pause for seconds to sections signal properly, then enter and clear the intersection, you're breaking the law. Like, now that doesn't make you a career criminal, but it means that you broke that law. You're a lawbreaker. I break a lot of law, traffic law, especially when it's pulling that out. Father,
you blame your Canadian heritage,
I blame the
where you could
thirst
drive
for
as
the
fast as
wind
you wanted.
in my eyebrows and my, yeah. But no, like we need to stop worrying about like sticks and stones may break my bones. Words will never hurt. That was one of the very first things I learned on the as a young kid. I think many kids of our generation grew up with that. I think stop teaching that because you're like, if this guy really thinks he's like, I don't think you should call me that. Like, okay, one, why aren't we arresting you? Like,
Right.
I mean, it's ballsy
But we
that you.
have done that, and
It's ballsy that this
we
guy
have
is
done
like,
that.
you know what? I don't like the way you're talking to me. No, like I violated all these laws. I'm gonna come here and complain to you about the way you address me because the truth of the matter is,
Did you know there was another legal? You know there was another legal alien that attacked a woman in Minneapolis yesterday. I don't know if he killed her. He stabbed her. He was illegal. She was some woman. I believe it was in Minneapolis. I had to find it. I saw a blip on it this morning. And he attacked and killed her, or attacked her. I don't know if he killed her, but I know he stabbed her. Um, and yet another one. And it's amazing because the left is like, not wanting to blame the immigration or that kind of thing. Um, but it's like he wouldn't have been here. Like you can absolutely blame that, right? The person would not have been here had we not allowed in the hijackers from 9/11. Had they been stopped and never allowed in, guess what? 9/11 probably would not have happened, or definitely not have happened on the day it did, and not happened maybe as bad as
yeah,
it did. We stopped one of them. Apparently, we
yeah,
turned them around, right? So it's real simple, if so you absolutely can blame the immigration policy. You're allowing illegal immigrants in. You're not arresting them. Local law enforcement, state law enforcement stuff are not turning them over to ICE. Employers are not running them through E-Verify. Not that that would have stopped him, but it could have caused him where he couldn't get a job and he would just end up leaving because he couldn't get a job in that area. It's all of that stuff is tied in, and it'll be interesting to see how much. Look at Kate Steinle. If there was not a stronger case for illegal immigrants not causing crime and murders, do all immigrants or illegal immigrants murder or commit crimes? No, but a lot of them do, and the numbers and the stats wholly support that. Just like
yeah.
a lot of inner city young black youth kill each other and or resort to violence. Look at any Chicago weekend. Do all young black youth do it? No. But on the inner city in the large cities, a lot of them kill. A lot of young blacks kill other young
Okay,
blacks.
so
It's just a fact.
you just touched on something that, like, and I think this is what really bothers me. People are talking about this illegal alien, offensive, whatever, this situation from a racial background, from a racial point of view, a racial standpoint. That's absolutely 100% inaccurate and wrong. This is not a racial issue. This is a legal issue. And when you're talking about a group of people, a demographic, you have to separate, like race, creed, religion. Lawbreaker is not in the same category. Right?
Right.
Every demographic falls in to that category. And people are like, oh, well, we can't, speak the truth about the situation because that's like saying all people that immigrated are bad people. Not like you just said, like if we looked at last weekend in Chicago, looked at the demographic statistics of that, obviously there's some racial implications. But the bottom line is this is not all, a racial issue. This is a statistical. And we treat it like it's a racial issue. Like, well, if we speak out against like immigrants, well, we're making a racial statement. No. Like, I'm an immigrant. I'm about as Caucasian. My dad's from the prairies of Canada. My mom's from the Isle of Man. Like I'm as Caucasian as, but I'm an immigrant, and I'm not offended by the term immigrant in any way because that just says that's the status of where I am in this country. It doesn't define me as a person. It doesn't define me as a human being. It doesn't define me in terms of race. It doesn't gender. But yet everyone treats this situation like it's a racial issue. It's not a racial issue. Kate Steinle, it wasn't a hate crime. It was a crime against this person committed it when actually a person in the country illegally multiple times, reported multiple times, a known violent offender and never should have been. That's a real issue, policy issue, not a racial
I tell
issue.
you, Toby, I can't imagine the pain that her family, Kate Steinle's family, or Molly Tippett's family would have go through. One, to lose your child, or a loved one. It could be a sister, it could be whatever. But as a parent, to lose your child, I can't. I was thinking about this today. To lose one of my boys because some illegal alien had been deported multiple times, was still here and wanted to take their iPhone or wanted to do whatever, or a number of cases of angel moms where you've seen them get in front of camera talk about how their loved one was hit in a hit and run or hit by a drunken illegal alien drunk driving and all that kind of, because they have no regard for the laws. Obviously, they've snuck into the country probably multiple times. They have there's no the carrot and the stick. There's no stick for them. They don't care about the laws. They don't feel threatened. I cannot imagine the hatred and pain uh, and loss that I would feel to lose one of my loved ones, and especially one of my kids, to someone like that that was here legally, shouldn't have been here, knowing and our country could have done something about it. And I don't care what they do about it, but do something about it. I can't fathom what that pain would feel like. I just know, I got to imagine that I would be so enraged that I probably wouldn't be responsible for my own actions. I would think. My heart goes out to them. You know.
Yeah, I personally can't comprehend. I don't want. I don't even want. But I will say that last thing that goes through right now in my situation, my understanding, someone takes my child care, what there's what there's the crime that they've committed, they're going to answer.
Right.
I'm going to make sure legally under the laws of the land that they meet the fullest extent of it. That because
Yeah.
it's irrelevant who they are, what they are, where they're from. They're
What
here.
their demographics are, any of that
They,
mess.
they
Right.
did this,
Yeah.
and I'm going to do everything in my power, make sure that justice is served. And justice is not served, like I will continue to fight till it is. Hopefully, I'll find forgiveness in my heart. Hopefully, I'll be a better person. Find that if justice is. Because I don't know what the Steinleys. I can't imagine justice was not served. They've been wronged in such a way. It's like it's double crime.
And it makes you wonder. And then the police say, "Don't take the law in your own hands. Don't become a vigilante." But if you see cases like that, you can't trust that the law is going to act appropriately. You know.
But
And yeah, it's
I mean, I agree with them. Don't take the law in your own. I agree with them that this is a social contract. This is why I'm still in America. This is why I'm here. People of the United States entered into a social 1776, based on the understanding of natural law and with Thomas Locke and Hobbes, they entered into social contract of the creation of our. That when I came here, I entered into that social contract. By being part of that social contract, you put that at the power system that I stand behind. Like I'd like to be the guy that stands here and be like, like, want to date my daughter? Well, you need to come meet me. You need to come talk to me. We'll figure that out. And I'm gonna be that guy that makes sure that they understand that their life is in jeopardy. Anyway, put my daughter in a compromising situation. But they're gonna know that because the guy sitting at the table next to me while I clean my gun is probably gonna be, like, yeah, you gotta be part of the system. You have to be part of the social. And but that's the neat thing about America. That even when an injustice is served, there's still a check and a balance. Uh, Nicole Simpson brutally murdered. Justice on the criminal side was not served. Yet her family have found a form of justice, another legal. Maybe it's not the best remedy. Obviously, the remedy is that it never happened. Nothing can ever replace Kate Stein. But I hope they seek another legal remedy. Um, I hope the young Iowa, the young girl that we're talking about earlier, like I hope justice is served. If
Well,
justice,
I think the point I was making was it'd be shame, right? It'd be shame to lose a friend or a loved one, in combat, right? I would have hated if something would have happened to my son after I got back and lost him. But if he got killed in combat, I would have I would know that he knew what he was getting into, and he raised his right hand and he signed up, and that was a risk. He knew it. I knew it. So be it, right? It wouldn't have made it that much. It wouldn't have made the pain any less. But it would have been like, well, that was the risk we knew. That would, to me, be better than losing one of my kids that way, or a loved one or family member that way, than losing them to a drunk driver, or someone murdering them, or a drive-by shooting, because that would be senseless. It's like, wow, they were home, they were supposed to be safe. That shouldn't have happened. Well, they were senselessly taken away through any means that was, an act of homicide, accidental or on purpose. That would have been terrible too. But hey, people drink and drive, or gangbangers are out there, or whatever the case may be. Um, but to lose a loved one, especially a child, someone chased him down, or accidentally shot him, or did it on purpose, or raped him and shot him and killed him and dumped him in a cornfield by a person who should not have been here, who had been caught, who the system was set up, the laws are in place to prevent that from happening. Yet because of politics and political pontification and finding position in political parties and everything else and trying to pander, you fail to enforce the laws, like some of the sanctuary cities, or you fail to make sure the person stays out, or you don't have any means to get them out once you throw them out 1, 2, 3, 4 times. For someone to be killed by someone like that, to me, that's a pain that's greater than any of the other scenarios that I brought up, because your own laws that are on the books, your own local law enforcement, state government, local city government, whatever it may be, fail to enforce the laws that are on the books. That could have prevented that from happening. 100% preventable.
So Doug Mullins is in Facebook chat room, and he made a comment about lack of regard for law. And my man Ryan OB, shout out to my man OB, by the way. Like, I served with him in Mosul, Iraq. Hey, great combat engineer, helped me clear some roads, protected me. Great dude. I love serving. We're having them being part of our task force. But the thing is, we have glamorized, we've celebritized, and put people on a Robin Hood-esque, if that's such a platform, podium, pedestal, and like the mayor of Oakland, with her, I'm gonna tip people off, I'm gonna do this stuff. Like, when Robin Hood, band of merry men, were robbing from the rich to give to the poor, they were dealing with a tyrannical monarchy who was raping the land of its resource, both natural, its commodities, its futures, and its people. Literally, when I say raping its resources, they were practicing prima nocta, where they could claim that it's your wedding day and about to got married, looking at your virgin wife, and the lord of the land is like, yeah, I get to tap that you because that's my. We're talking tyrannical group of rulers, this oligarchy that's ridiculous, feudalism, and they stole from those people to provide for people that were doing without. They became this folk hero because of this activity. No one in America, no one in America is suffering from tyrannical rule. You might think that you're dealing with might think that the laws of the land are bringing you down. Um, you are so far detached from the reality of what tyranny is, what evil is, what oppression is. I guarantee you have no comprehension of people living in North Korea. You have no understanding. So, like folk heroes for doing that, asinine. It just shows how ignorant and detached from reality we are as a society. We claim like, well, we got to uplift this person because they're fighting against the man. Like, the man of America is that bad. The worst thing that you can encounter is like lady at the like. That's your idea of tyrannical. You're a jackass. Like, you have no idea. Like, and that's me. Like, what makes some of this stuff so funny is like worrying about. I was talking to someone earlier today, and they were talking about they have it hard. It's like, did your kid piss in a toilet today? Guy's like, yeah. That's better than 98% of the world's population. Your kid pissed in a toilet. Oh, and by the way, the water inside the toilet, better drinking water than 99% of the world's drinking. And your kids are urinating it. Your kid, has to have a laptop, 7th grade, to make sure it gets its homework done. Versus like walking 20 miles round trip with a jug of water on their head, Uh, they're like,
So their family can have water,
right,
so they can survive.
yeah. You know, you, your kid has $100 in their lunch, which they're picking the crappiest food you could ever imagine, because our initiative to help children eat better in schools is the biggest abominations. Like, here, kid's got $100 to pick between pizza, chicken nuggets, and what else.
And
Meanwhile, like,
broccoli.
wise choice,
They're,
my children.
well, they're going to pick pizza,
I
right?
hope you're picking the broccoli. Wise choice. But like, uh, time of the oppression of the man. You're talking about like we gotta help out. Like, you don't understand what you're saying is crazy. People aren't folk heroes. You're celebritizing, glamorizing wrong people. This is not a Robin Hood movie. This is not a dignity to the man. It's like just you're a selfish, pompous, think that you're better than people. Like, don't realize how if you went to the rest of the world that you think is behind supporting you, like that lady. I watched this awesome viral video the other day of this lady like standing up to a cleric and then ripping her job off and like just, hey, stop telling me what I can and can't do. Like, this is my body, my life. The fact that my eyes in are uncovered, like, isn't changing how Satan's gonna. For me, I was like, this is awesome. The mayor of
Yeah,
Oakland needs
no,
to
I mean
talk to that lady.
it's you and I have experienced this as have anyone else that has traveled overseas. Not necessarily a third world country. You could go to first world, second world countries, and see how much more that we have and how spoiled the poorest people or what are considered poverty and poor people in our country live like kings compared to others, especially in third world countries. In the Mid East, in Central Latin America, and even in parts of Europe. That like I say, the most poverty-stricken, poorest people in our country um, live well beyond any of those people's means. Like I say, fresh water, a toilet, clothes, not even three, two good meals a day. They're even lucky to have that. Um, yeah, we because and you've done the same thing I have, Toby. You've come back, and we come back here, and we just are humbled and just feel spoiled, right? As,
Like,
as we hold on.
a small vignette. I play hockey in a men's beer. Shout out to Gangrene. Uh, unfortunately, because I came home in the middle of the night. It's our drink time at the late night. I came home and I'm like, got to get up early. Do it, and just. But I've like just played hockey. I am not quite field rank, but I'm hockey. Got like weird leather gloves. You know what I'm talking about? I got the
Right.
madness going. I sneak into my house, ninja, like into my bedroom, and I suite. And I'm closing the doors to the ensuite, like nothing, because I don't want to disturb my wife. I go to take my shower. And I have to go to the bathroom. So we have like a commode room. I go to like hit the light switch, lights on. I'm like, man, you have a own room in my house. And I remember, like, it's so funny because it was like a strange moment of clarity. I'm like, how badass is my played hockey? Just living in my house. If I was thinking about those blue water sauna place in the middle of nowhere where bad, and that was probably a highly targeted or bracketed area. You're like, look this, like lives are so good. It's like sometimes like I like those subtle little reminders that I still get. I haven't been in still get like these little happy
Right.
memories. Where I'm like, hate the fact I walk, running walk.
Yeah. It's yeah, because it's a lot of people don't, and there's people I can tell you from fact. I've been there, Toby. There's people there are Americans that don't have that. You go to rural Alaska, you go to some of the
Yeah,
villages in Alaska. Those are Americans,
yeah,
and it is you walk into some of those houses and you walk into some villages. It's like being in a third world country. So it is, it's humbling to go in there and they have nothing and they offer you a seat and they offer you, some food that they don't, their kids barely have. And, but they live like third world country but they still will open up their arms and their houses for you to welcome you in. In the Middle East, the Pashto call it the Pashtawali Code, right? And in fact, it's not really something unique to that one faith. It's pretty common throughout all of Western civilized culture to welcome in a guest, right? The Pashto faith of Islam, the Pashto people have that. They have a name for it, and it's if you're in my house, I'm your guest. I'll protect you. You're my guest. I'll do everything I can to protect you and take you in, that kind of stuff. But we have the same thing. I'm down in Texas and I see it, and you're like, hey, dude, after the show, just stay here, crash in my place, right? Doug, I stay there, just opens up his home. Just like I would if you guys ever ventured your way up to New York, which I've done for Doug before. We exactly. You come up see a Sabres game. We do that stuff for each other. And you offer them your best thing, right? I break out just like you do when I come see you. You break out the best of the brown water, right? You break out the best bourbon that you have. You don't hold back and say, "Here's some Jim Beam. Let me take this. Let me take this small batch and hide it." You know,
Oh,
you don't
nothing
throw
but
me
the best for my
leftovers.
boys, man.
You know,
Although I give you the best pizza from Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice and Round Rock always give
you
you
do
the
give me
best
the best
pizza.
pizza from Fire
Always
Night.
get you the best wings. I've
Yeah.
gotten you some corn harvest. But hey, one of the things that I really want to talk about, running out of time. Justin Capel, winner we were talking about earlier, our contest winner, two-time winner, and previous show host, co-host, guest host, is involved in something really cool. I was going to try and get him on, and he was going to help me out with you not being able to come on. You came. My tech skills are like sucking right now. Trying to like redo my here to bring on. Um, Justin's in the chat room, so he can hear us talk. Let him communicate to the chat room. Kind of in Waco, Texas. Really cool thing called the backyard or backyard street party that's coming up September 9th, being put on by the backyard. I don't know the specifics. Definitely talk about it. Chat room as he's going to post but the family of the backyard folks, they had some kind of tragedy, suicide tragedy. Their peripheral in direct family motivated, so they want to make a difference. They want to get some things going. They contacted the gay hospital, gay clinic, Greater Waco area. They've set up a event on September 9th, 12 to 8 p.m. Where they're having 7 bands, 2 stages, food trucks, all kinds of stuff. Veteran nonprofit I think if we can work it out, I'm on a trip and a lot of the crew are on a trip, but Veteran Outdoors and some other folks are going to be out there. Out to my Oaks, involved, but Justin's posting stuff chat room right now in the Facebook chat room. Go back and look. Listen, if you, but they're going to have people to help with VA claims. They're going to have all kinds of stuff going on. The backyard bar is pink. Like, this is really cool. It's sad that, the reason why they're doing it, but I think here's someone that, like, they're not trying to raise awareness. You and I joke about this all the time. You always hear about nonprofits, groups that are like, "Hey, I'm here to tell you, I'm here to raise awareness. I want you to know, like, there's a problem," but they don't really have a plan to defeat it. They don't have efforts, not actively engaging it. They're just passively like, "Here's some research that I've read that I'm gonna share with you, let you know that there's a problem." But these guys are acting, obviously, action, raw. They're like, we're building some stages, not one but two, throwing a huge party, to bring people in, and while they're there, like, hey, check out these resources, check out these options. So I'm really excited about it because this is a active approach, feeling active approach to pandemic. Harp on the VA all the time. Here's people going to the VA saying, let's get engaged, real, let's get involved, and let's do something. I love it. I love that spirit. I love what it's about. Justin, if you hear me, please post the flyer in the chat room. People can see it, and then we're going to post it on the page, share it as well. Any of the Central Texas, go on the September. Get down to the backyard and wait. Check it out. Listen to, get some barbecue food. Got some VA claim questions there. You don't have to wait for that call back. You don't have to deal with that stuff. Great stuff. Justin, thanks for what
Yeah, Justin put up a lot of info, including they'll even check your claims while you're there, your VA claims. They can check them, right? So they can they got the internet spun up, and they'll be able to do that kind of stuff. That is an awesome thing, Justin. That is what a great initiative, and I love the hashtag Stop Doing Push-ups.
Dude, I was just about to say, man, I love that because, like, no offense to some people I know that are probably listening to this right now, the push-up challenge is some bullshit. Like, hey, I'm gonna do some push-ups on Facebook, and I'm gonna say some names, and I'm gonna feel better about myself because I said some names. Yeah, all right, jabroni. Like, okay, one, you're not doing a very good push-up. Two, like, it's a generally straight line from your shoulders to your ankles. Just saying, CrossFitter. Three, you're like, call your buddy, show him some love. Instead of tagging him on Facebook, instead of texting him, talk to him, talk to her, extend your hand, extend your heart, be a real freaking human being. Stop being a jabroni. Like, hey, look at me, I'm doing push-ups because I'm cool. Like, stop doing push-ups. I love it. Hashtag.
It was like the ice bucket challenge.
Yeah.
Rather than give money to a needy cause, I'm going to pour ice water. So I don't have to get money.
If all the people that got involved in that hashtag Tony 2012, like, actually did something for Africa, that dude would not be in power right now, leaving selling them. Just saying, hashtags don't work.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're Justin Timberlake and you're getting paid.
That's it.
All right, everybody.
For some reason, I got echo. I can hear myself on your computer.
Let's just. But all right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna Sorry for running late on the start. Not sorry for running late because great conversation. Justin, we're proud of you. Super awesome that part of this. I saw him doing something at Operation Supply Drop the other day. Bowling event, helping some folks out. Like always, excited to see good veterans out in the community. Positive. Thanks to everyone that tuned in. I apologize. Next week, not here because I was hanging with my Veteran Outdoors family doing our big annual fundraiser in Texas. Ready to build the fund base that's going to support us the next and it's an amazing year. Troy, Tom, I have no idea.
I will be in a more studio than normal. I will not be at home. I'll be somewhere else. But I'll be running.
Gonna be on the road some more.
Yep.
But maybe we need to take a week off.
No, we'll be good. I'll be good. It'll be a good show.
Well, I appreciate you.
I'll be in alligator country.
Where?
Yeah. Florida.
All right, brother. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in. Again, if you have not liked our Facebook page, please do that. That helps us. We have a really cool announcement coming up 2 weeks that we're really excited about. But hey, like our Facebook page. That helps us out. And follow us on Instagram. We're now on the IG. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook. Definitely subscribe if you have an iPhone or an iTunes account. Get us on the podcast. If not, hit us through the play. Listen to us, download, subscribe to us on YouTube, the Twitch, Periscope, whatever your fancy is. Follow us on Twitter at Toby Nunn, Hammer, at Stu and the Nun. We love you guys.